Hello everyone, we are Laurentiu and Alexandra, and we are Master Certified Ascension Coaches with Twin Flame Universe.
And today we're discussing about how do you differentiate between a false twin flame and a true twin flame. There are obviously a lot of signs that we can get into, and we can discuss about the differences between false twin flames and true twin flames. Why do you have a false twin flame experience to begin with? And so, yeah, let's just get into it. Why do you have a false twin flame experience? Why do people have this experience? Well, usually people have this experience when they want to be with their true twin flame really, really bad. So therefore they call in this person, aka their false twin flame, to help them essentially heal through a lot of experiences super fast so they can be with their true twin flames really fast. A false twin flame will be very similar through your true twin flame. It's just that they won't align with you in the moment that you heal. So this is why a false twin flame is a really good way for you to really learn about, healing, face a lot of deep patterns. So when your true twin flame comes in, it's like, it's going to be so much easier. Everybody that has had like a false twin flame experience, when the true twin flame and has healed through it fully and completely, when the true twin flame comes in, it's like, oh my God, this is so easy. This is heaven, which is exactly how it should feel with your true twin flame. You feel a lot better, especially when you know how to handle the twin flame dynamic, when you know how to do the mirror exercise, and you know how to heal things with your true twin flame would feel easy when you know kind of how to practice the correct things, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be really like an experience that you might think, is this even real? I had people actually say that to us, that they're like, is this even real? Like, is it possible that we are actually to influence? Because things work out much better than I thought, much better than I hear online or things like that. And like, yes, it is possible and it is real, and it's a very real experience that you can have too with your twin flame. Once you understand the right way to approach your twin flame, or like, in this case, like when you reveal your true twin flame. Because if you've been doing healing, like really been healing yourself and really been coming to peace with yourself, you should be experiencing a lot of love from your twin flame. So either there could be two things here. One, you're either like, as in this experience, having a false twin flame, either you're not really working through. I didn't want to say it directly.
Yeah, like it's okay. Like maybe you're not healing exactly what's needed for your twin flame journey to progress, right? So you won't be able to know. So if you're right now, you're kind of in a state of like, oh, is this a false twin flame? Maybe it's a false twin flame. I should let them go. But what do I do? Like relax, remember, it is a very key component of a false twin flame experience that they do feel like your true twin flame. And when I say they feel like your true twin flame, you will have signs, you will have synchronicities, everything will point you towards this person, right? Because it's meant to help you heal, right? So the key component here is like the healing, right? The moving through the lessons that this person is bringing up for you. Only like that, and this is something that we constantly say to people, that only through resolving the challenges in the relationship, only through properly addressing what is happening between you and this person, you will know if this is a false twin flame or not. For example, you might be like, oh, well, I'm angry at this person and they're a false twin flame. Fuck them. I'm going to leave. No, if you are like that, you haven't actually healed what's being presented. If you still feel anger or resentment or just kind of a heaviness around the person, and that's not a proper space to move on to your true twin flame. You will be able to fully complete the false twin flame experience when you move forward from this person in peace, right? So again, it's very important, because if you don't really, learn all the lessons that the false twin flame is experiencing, either you're not going to be able to manifest your true twin flame, either you're going to manifest another false twin flame, and you don't want that. You don't really need multiple false twin flame experiences for you to heal everything and find your true twin flame. That's, you know, what our spiritual teachers talk about as well. It's like you, it can happen, obviously. If it happens, it happens, but you don't necessarily need, if the first false twin flame experience, like if you just, you know, heal everything about it and you properly value yourself and you properly respect yourself, right? You have a love list, like, you know, you have kind of these things sorted out, so to say. So let's just go into how you know this person is a false twin flame. What are the signs? First of all, the signs are outlined in the book Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. I highly recommend the book. You can find it on Amazon. It's also available in Spanish and in German and in Romanian. And I think that's it at this time.
Yes.
So, you know, there's a few translations. So I highly recommend the book because it has the signs of a true twin flame, comparison between twin flames and soulmates, you know, the life purpose, divine feminine, masculine, and also like the mirror exercise explained, which is really good. Highly recommended. So going into the signs though, again, the thing is, a false twin flame will feel like your true twin flame, right? However, a false twin flame will kind of constantly either lie to you or abandon you and will not really show you progress in the healing aspect, right? Like you continue to heal and do the mirror exercise. And when I speak here consistently, I really mean consistently. You have to see this over months, you know, to like really kind of see, okay, like have I really healed? Have I really addressed these things? Sometimes this process can take a few months and even a few years, you know, depending on how like dedicated you are to fully see this. A false twin flame will constantly kind of lie to you and abandon you, even no matter how much healing you do. A false twin flame will also not really be interested to talk to you about the future, or they will not really involve you like in future plans or discussing about your life beyond like a certain point, because again, like you and a false twin flame don't really have a future and they're not meant to spend a lot of time with you. You know, when your true twin flame actually won't have necessarily a problem to discuss with you about plans for the future and goals and where do you want to go in life. You know, those things with your true twin flame should feel natural, should feel, yeah, I want to talk about this thing. As long as you are, you know, have the openness to discuss about this, a true twin flame will also explore these areas with you, right? When a false twin flame will likely either avoid it, either, you know, make excuses, right? It will not, you know, yeah,
it's not going to be easy to kind of get some piece of clarity with them because they will not be willing to go there. Because once you get that clarity with them, you're going to see that they're not you. Yep. And that's the moment you cannot have them in your life, and that's what they want to avoid. And that's why, like usually with a false twin flame, you have to really realize if a person is really choosing to kind of go deeper with you or not. Because if they're not, they're just going to string you along, giving you just as little as possible to keep you around them.
Yeah.
And that's not really like loving, or it's going to feel good for you. And if you're going to believe that that's it, that's not it. Yeah. Your twin flame is not just going to give you breadcrumbs of love. It's going to give you a whole breadth of love.
Yeah, especially if you do heal the patterns, you know, that come up with this experience. Like if you generally feel like, you know, you have... you don't give yourself breadcrumbs, like you start to love yourself properly, you start to heal and address these things, right? You should see changes, right? And a false twin flame will not change in that way. This is like another sign, like a false twin flame will not change with you as you heal, right? And again, it will be just like a stringing along and breadcrumbs over, potentially even years, right? So like, they will be inclined to again kind of keep you just as close as possible for them to have a certain level of attention with you, because they enjoy obviously they enjoy you believing that they are your true twin flame, right? They enjoy receiving that love from you that is supposed to go towards your true twin flame, right? So like they would kind of keep you just like close, but at a certain level of closeness, and you will not be able to go deeper in closeness with them, no matter kind of what you do. You will hit like a wall with them.
Yeah, exactly, because that's what we've experienced with a lot of our clients when we work with them, and that got into this situation, they will kind of hit this wall where nothing will happen or just barely something, and it will be very, very hard for them to experience something. And then usually when someone like that will go into a space where actually realize it's a forced twin flame and their true twin flame comes in, it's kind of like day and night difference.
Yep.
It's a whole different story of how things approach.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful to see it coming. That doesn't mean everybody has that, just to put it out there. Not everybody will have a forced twin flame experience.
Yep.
Some people will have, some people will not. So until you're being shown that it's not, just keep going with that person and reveal them.
Yeah, exactly. I think like this is a thing, like if one thing as well as a sign, a false twin flame, as I said, will be very close to your true twin flame, but it won't be exactly your twin flame. So here, as you explore yourself, as you heal yourself, you would get more clear on who your twin flame is in your heart. Right? You would have your love list, you would do healing, you would keep refining your love list, and at some point you will realize that this false twin flame person does not actually align with all of your core values, right? And which is super important, because your true twin flame aligns with you in all of the core values and will match your love list at least 80%, right? So and all the other points as well, there are points where they would want to go into, right? So my spiritual teacher said and gave this example that when she was exploring, her love list with her twin flame, it was like, it was an 80% match. But for example, she had on her love list things like, he's a good father, right? Well, they obviously didn't have children at that point, but he wanted to be a good father, right? So even if that point technically was not fulfilled, right, he wanted to fulfill that point and become that, not just for her, but just that was his innate like desire, right? So that was a really good example there, and I highly recommend that. Actually, this example is given in the Romance Attraction e-course, and you can get these free lessons when you sign up for the free intro course at Twin Flames Universe. So if you haven't done that already, I highly recommend it as well. Yeah. Good. So besides, that the fact that the false twin flame won't align with you, it's really what else I was saying.
I mean, I
think like do you have one?
I mean, the other thing, like with your forced twin flame, besides, okay, they will not do this, they will not mirror your healing, they will just not choose with you, they will not show up there, is that your forced twin flame will just, will come into your life and will be or act in that way with you in such a way that they will kind of, they will step back, they'll know when to step back and when to come in, when to kind of really show up for you and when to not, so you don't catch them that they are not. Because the moment you catch them that they are not there to, they're not there to love you because they're not your twin flame, they would fall away. But with the forced twin flame, they will kind of play this game, and we see it a lot of like, when you kind of happy, they're not going to be there. But when you're not happy, then they're going to come immediately there. And that's usually what's going to happen.
Or were you happy without them and you kind of try to like let them go as well?
Yeah, they're going to try to come even harder at you. So it actually happened to someone recently that they started to be happy on themselves, and that person started to come very heavily, no, like now I want to be with you. All of a sudden, when they finally started to say no to all of that and to just be happier with themselves, they started to be like that. And even though that may seem like, well, doesn't that mean that your true twin flame, that may be it because they're coming there? No, because if they only come there when you say no to them, then that's not how it is. It should be like, be happy with yourself by saying yes to them, and then they come. Because the moment what happened, okay, this person was like, I said no to them, I was happy without him, and then he started to come back in. But the moment she said yes to that, he started to grow cold again. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how a true twin flame is. Your true twin flame will be there constantly, through good and bad.
Yes, exactly. Good. So yeah, let's just see, how do you kind of let go and finally realize this is a false twin flame? Well, again, this comes through your own healing. What we discussed and all of these signs are things kind of like red flags that you will see, especially as you do your inner work with the mirror exercise. And I'm like, knowing yourself very well is super important here, because your twin flame is you, right? So if you look at this person and trying to align with them, then you're approaching it from a wrong perspective. You have to know yourself, and then you see that this person naturally follows that, right? So you be careful to not kind of do it the other way around. I know it's tempting when you feel like this intense attraction and you feel so connected to a person, but do not lose yourself in this place, right? Because only through your own connection with yourself, getting to know yourself, healing yourself, and working through your triggers, right? Like at the end of the day, anybody on this planet can trigger you, okay? But like, as you work through your triggers with this person, right? Again, you should see change, you should see alignment, you should see that you come closer, right? And I know, like, for example, people are like, even like, wow, I just did a mirror exercise, and my twin flame, it took me a little bit to kind of fully understand, but now I like understand. Like, they either watch our free workshop, either like they come to our free class and they're like, oh my god, now I understand, and wow, I did a mirror exercise, and wow, like now my twin flame is closer to me, and now we're communicating actually, because I realized what I was doing, with before, right? So generally speaking, you see closeness starting to happen when you are willing to do the inner work, when you are willing to approach this relationship, through like what it's truly about, like you loving yourself, healing yourself, and even like having a good relationship with your twin flame, right? And again, like a false twin flame won't necessarily be interested in that, especially not in the long term. So there will be like these red flags that you see as you go through this process, right? Good. Yeah. So another good thing about this is that with a false twin flame, and speaking about plans for the future, with them, comparing your love list or discussing this kind of stuff won't really be possible, right? But from what I have seen with, through twin flames, generally people are like, hey, this is my love list. What do you think? Do you match? The conversation kind of goes easily with them, because it's like, if you have that, level of openness and you don't feel kind of awkward, way to discuss about this in this way. If you're like very like decided, like, yeah, this is what I want in a person, are you this person? Your true twin flame will be more than okay to discuss with you and see if you align.
Yeah, they'll be open to explore and speak, have a conversation with you. That's the thing. They will be willing to discover if they are or not your twin flame, which that won't happen with a false twin flame. They wouldn't be open to look over all of these things to figure out if they are or not your twin flame.
Yeah, exactly. But I note on that, because you say your twin flame will be open, right? Well, you can have blocks as to why the openness, and we kind of circle back to like the healing aspect. If you feel like you have healed that openness and you feel like good to be open and intimate with your twin flame, and if you work through the triggers and the things happening, then that should come naturally from your twin flame as well, right? Good. So the key element here is your own healing, right? And not being afraid to explore this person fully and completely, to see, is this person aligning, right? Part of like not attaching to a certain someone being your twin flame, especially at the beginning of the journey, is like, okay, I feel super attracted. I get the signs. I get the, okay, the things. Okay, let's just take a step back, focus on myself. Is this really what I want in my life? Do I see, this person aligning with me for the long term? Do I see that they, could potentially be there, right? And some things, you might feel confident on yourself, and some things will be things that you will have to discuss, and you will have to feel comfortable to discuss these things with this person that you're exploring, right? So yeah.
Yep, that feels good.
Yep.
All, after all, like healing will do everything here. Like as you heal, you're gonna figure out, and you have to really allow yourself to do it with the mirror exercise. That's what we highly recommend. That's where we saw a lot of results, and where we personally saw ourselves how it works. So yeah, look for those signs and do the process, and then you're gonna get the result.
Yep. So, exactly. So this is it on the subject. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next video.